Brought to you by Penguin.
Virdee by A. Dhand. Read by Ramon Tikaram.
Prologue. He'll never be the same again. I'm going to make sure of it. Once he steps under the yellow police cordon, to enter a nightmare entirely of his own making. Detective Harry Virdee. The papers say there isn't a case he can't solve. But he wouldn't have seen a murder like this. Never like this. I'm going to drag him to the darkest corners of my mind. A place where nothing pure exists anymore. I can still feel it. My hand clasped over her mouth as her life slipped away. I felt powerful then, like a mattered. Sitting here in City Park, the bench cold under me, dried blood lingering in the creases of my palms, the world carries on around me. No one knows what I've done. The passers-by are attached to their phones, lost in their own worlds. They don't see me here, but I see them. Even in the bitter cold, the girls dressed to show off their figures, tight-fitting coats, bare legs, expensive heels, and immaculate makeup. They think these things are important. They should know better. I like being this close, seeing the flashing blue lights of police cars as they park outside Bradford Waterstones. This is my doing. I created this anarchy. It excites me. As the forensic vans arrive, men in white suits organise themselves outside the shop window. They're too professional to whisper, but I know what they're thinking. Who could do this? Why? Looking around City Park, it is quite clear to me. We're all numb. We've become so used to violence and trauma on our TV screens that we just don't care anymore. We are unshockable. We don't listen, and we never learn. Today, the start of Bradford's darkest week begins. By the end of this, people will listen. They will learn. Most importantly, they will never forget. Detective Virdee is about to discover this is merely the start. I am surrounded by sin. This is a city of sinners. A city that is about to learn an important lesson. And I am the one to deliver it. The time for ignorance is over. 1. DCI Harry Virdee stared up at the body. Suspended high in the air by a noose around her neck, she hung from the rafters of Bradford's most beautiful bookshop. She was naked, except for a red headscarf wrapped around her face, the decorative detail glistening in the early morning gloom. The quiet was marred only by the stifled cries of the manager, who had already identified the body as one of her members of staff, Uzma Khan. It was an impressive building. It had once been the wool exchange back when Bradford had been one of the richest cities in Europe. Those times were long gone. Harry couldn't help but think the dramatic setting perfectly complemented the macabre image of the girl floating in the air. She looked like a banished angel. The dome-shaped ceiling was over 100 feet high, gloomily lit by the weak sun streaming through ornate glass windows. One window had been smashed. The Star of David at its centre destroyed. Harry had been with HMET, the Homicide Major Inquiry Team, in Bradford for over a decade. He was a difficult man to shock, but he'd never seen anything quite like this. Nor had his team. Scenes of crime officers stood beside him, trying to figure out how they were going to search the area, awaiting Harry's orders. Forensics looked equally uncertain. Sweeping the space was going to be a logistical nightmare. The bookshop would be full of DNA.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?